that this week. But first of all, when I say Max Verstappen world champion, how good does that sound?
I mean, of course, it sounds very good, but it's more for me the journey towards this championship, where, especially when you achieve it, you start thinking about all the hours and the years leading up to it, and that was for me more emotional than, of course, hearing world champion. But yeah, of course, it's amazing that we achieved this, and it's been a very long and tough season,
and quite a long and tough week.
Yeah, I need some sleep.
Seriously, Max, just tell us what you've done since clinching the championship on Sunday.
Well, I mean, I had one drink on Sunday night. One too many, probably.
Yes, one big one.
Yeah, so, and then I thought, actually, I woke up probably in the afternoon at 1 or 2 o'clock on Monday thinking I had a free day, but then I realized I actually didn't have a free day, so I had another 4 hours of filming or something like that. So I was still.
Can I interrupt you? When you woke up on Monday,
I had a massive headache.
But was the first words that came into your mind, were they "I am world champion"? Is that when the penny really started to drop?
No, it was probably a swear word when I woke up. Yeah, just because of the headache. But. Yeah, no, it's been good, of course, and I've been really enjoying it so far, but I also really need a break because it wasn't easy. I always needed to try to be perfect the whole year. I think once you then finish the last race, everything came out. So also my body, when I was driving on Tuesday, wasn't particularly great. It was hurting quite a bit. So also because of the cramp from the last lap. Which, of course, I didn't get treated on because everyone was jumping around, and probably also my hydration levels weren't great even on Tuesday. But yeah, no, it's been very good.
And then, of course, you were with the team in the UK yesterday. Just how was it being back with the guys and girls who sort of helped you get where you got?
It's been our goal since I joined the team, and then once you finally pull it off. It was really nice to see all the happy faces, in the whole factory basically, and then also the speech and the clip of the season. I mean, it's just amazing. I really try to enjoy the moment, because how many times will you have that moment? I don't know. I hope, of course, many times, but for now, yeah, it has been great.
Does it feel like family? Because you've been there, 6 years now? That's a quarter of your life.
Yeah, yeah. It does feel like that, because I think you heard on my radio as well after on the in-lap, asking if I could stay for another 10, 15 years. So I am very happy where I am, and also just I can be myself, and that I think is also really important. And it's not only about just purely Formula One. We can have fun, we can have a good laugh, and I think that's also important, because it's not only about performance, also you need to enjoy what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Can we look at the season now as a whole? And let's take it back to the start. Testing went well. How confident were you coming into 2021?
I always stayed very, very neutral, because you don't know what the others are doing or how much they're hiding. But I think what was the positive was that I felt I had a good balance in the car, and I was feeling very comfortable with the car. And then of course, in the first race weekend it really looked good. But again, I was like, well, maybe it's just a track. Can be, because throughout the season you have a few tracks where the car can be a bit better than others. So yeah, I think what was very important from that point onwards was just to be neutral, not be too positive, too negative, always stay in the middle.
And then at which point in the year did you start to really believe that you could do it?
Well, it's difficult as well, because I've been in the lead, then back to second, been in the lead, so there was never a point where I thought, okay, we got it in the bag, because every race was like I could either win or be second, So, and it was all about the attention of details, where you could make the difference in terms of winning or being second.
And isn't it crazy to think that after 6,500 kilometers of racing, it came down to those last 5Ks on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, you cannot ride it any better, for sure. So it was pretty insane.
Cool. Now, look, Max, there are going to be more questions for you in a moment, but could I please invite Red Bull Racing team principal Christian Horner onto the stage now. Very sadly, we're not being joined by Toto Wolff or Lewis Hamilton today, and Valtteri Bottas was due to be with us, but he's been in Hinwil and his flight has been delayed. So it's great to have you with Christian. Thank you for joining us. Just tell us how good this man has been this year.
Well, firstly, obviously great to be here. I mean, you obviously forgot the memo on the suit by the looks of things, but it's been an incredible year, and you know, when you look back at the season as a whole, 22 races, I think the biggest season Formula One has ever had, and from the first race in Bahrain, it's been so competitive. There's been on average probably 0.1, 0.2 of a second between the two drivers throughout the season, and I think that the way that Max has driven throughout the year, and what's really stood out for me is in moments of adversity, where he's just kept his head down, he's kept believing, he's kept pushing, he's kept driving the team forward, and we've known every time he's got in the car, he's given it 110%, and that lifts everybody around them. And particularly the second half of the year when we didn't have the fastest package, he kept us in this championship. He kept fighting, he kept believing, and it's just been the most unbelievable year. And we're incredibly proud of everything that he's done this year, and totally deserving of this World Championship.
Has he reached new heights this year? Is he a better racing driver than he was a year ago?
Well, I think we've just given him a better car, and he's made great use of it. And he's finished every race either first or second, bar one where he had half his car missing in Budapest. The statistics talk for themselves. The amount of laps that he's led, the pole positions, the race victories. He's been outstanding, and so few mistakes under massive pressure. And I think that's what you forget is the amount of pressure that there's been building through this championship, and the way as a young man that he's dealt with and coped with that has been inspirational.
What were the key moments in this championship?
There's been some big moments. It was important to get those victories, to get the run of results. I mean, then there was the moments like Azerbaijan, that we had to come back from, and it was important to come back strong, and Max did that. And I think Silverstone was a key moment. And again, how you come back from that. And I think for me, in the latter part of the championship, particularly Austin, where we were certainly the underdog on that day, but he delivered a victory that was just truly outstanding.
Max, coming back to you, how will becoming world champion change you?
Well, I said already during the season that it doesn't matter for me if I'm first or second. It will not change my life, and it also doesn't. I mean, it has been my life goal to become a champion, and now that I've done that, of course, I'm incredibly happy. But I'm the same guy. I have the same friends. I spend the same amount of time with family. Still live in the same place. And nothing is going to change. But in a way, of course, in the back of my mind, it's just even more relaxing knowing that I've achieved everything in Formula One now, and everything that comes next is just a bonus.
But do you view life differently? Is the view from the summit different? You've reached the summit.
Well, it's still the same color, isn't it? Yeah. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't change anything.
Okay. What about as a driver? Do you think it'll help you in that way?
Time will tell. I mean, I cannot really say right now, but I just have to keep on doing what I have been doing. And of course, I always try to improve, and that's what I will try to do again next year as well.
Christian gave us his key moments of the season. Can we get yours as well?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much the same. I mean, headbutting the tire wall in Silverstone wasn't that great, but these were at the end of the day key moments. Otherwise, I think it would have been, of course, decided a lot earlier. But especially towards the end of the season, getting a few wins where we didn't expect it, or a pole position where we didn't expect it, all these kind of things, or even a fastest lap, it is an extra point. So these things actually do matter nowadays when you have a championship fight like we had. So yeah, pretty much the same race weekends, even though also like the fast lap in Qatar, when we were clearly also the slower, still went for that fast lap.
Let's open this